Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're going to talk about Good Cop, Bad Cop, and the promoted expansion. And this is all published by Pull the Pin Games. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out. Yeah, pull the pin. Get it?
That's pretty clever marketing, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so we're going to be talking about Good Cop, Bad Cop, and then we're going to talk about some of what the promotion expansion adds. So Good Cop, Bad Cop, this is a social deduction game. But unlike other social deductions games you've played, most of them probably have, a whole bunch of good guys and like one or two bad guys sprinkled in, right?
You sprinkle the bad guys.
And they're trying to hide in the shadows and like cause some chaos or whatever. And there's half good cop potential, half bad cop potential. And so both sides can, get power over the shift over the course of the game. So you don't really want to talk about who you are at all. You don't know who's who. You just want your side to win, but that might not be, even your own role might change over the course of the game. So very interesting. Let me show you how it works. All right, here is our setup for Good Cop, Bad Cop. In the middle, we have some guns laid, flat down on the table. We also have the active player marker, which is also going to tell that active player what actions they can take during their turn. Now, at the beginning of the game, we're going to look at these different integrity cards, and they're going to be basically determined by how many players you have. You're going to shuffle these out, and they're going to determine whether you are crooked or honest, or if you're the leader of the crooked, you're the kingpin, or if you're the leader of the honest people, you are an agent. So what's going to happen is you're going to be dealt 3 of these cards. Now, if the majority of those cards are crooked, then you are in fact crooked. If the majority of them are honest, you are honest. Unless you have the kingpin or the agent card in your hand, in which case you are good no matter what, or bad no matter what, based off which card you have. And if for some strange reason one player ever has both the kingpin and the agent card, they alone win the game and everybody else loses. But that has never happened. So on your turn, you have a few choices. The first thing you can do is you can investigate. You can take a hidden integrity card from any other player that has at least one hidden card, look at it, and put it back where it was. So you can see it, and the other person obviously knows what it was, but that's it. The next action you can take is you can take one of the guns from the middle of the table, and you can set it upright. So that is called arming. That means you are basically ready to shoot. However, because it's kind of a strong action, when you take that, you have to take one of your own cards, flip it up, and reveal it to everyone, and it's up for the rest of the game, so everyone can see what one of your cards is. There's also equipment cards in the game. These can be really strong. They do a whole lot of variety of things. They can basically manipulate the board, they can arm things, they can shoot things. There's a whole lot of different special abilities that happen as a result of these equipment cards. Everyone starts with one, but also if you want to take an additional card, you can do that on your turn. But again, because it's such a strong action, you once again would have to flip over one of the cards you have face down and reveal it to the rest of the table. Now, the last action you can do on your turn is to shoot your gun, but that's only if you have it aimed at someone. So we haven't yet aimed our gun yet. All we've done so far is get it ready to go. All right, so after you've taken an action, then, if you have a gun, you can aim it at a player. But you can't actually shoot it yet. Again, that's an action. So it kind of goes, as one action, take the gun. Then, at the end of that action, you are going to be able to aim the gun. And then, on a future round, on your turn, you can actually shoot at that person. After your turn is done, this player goes to the next person. They have the same options on their turn of what they can do on their turn. If you get shot, you are out of the game. You turn your cards sideways, your integrity cards. You get rid of all your equipments. And if you have a gun, you get rid of that gun as well. But that only applies to if you are a regular person. If you are either the agent or the kingpin, you are simply going to put this wounded token in front of you, saying that you are wounded. But that tells to everyone else at the table that you are either, once again, either the agent or the kingpin. If you are the agent or the kingpin and you are wounded and you get shot a second time, then you are, of course, eliminated. The game ends when either the agent or the kingpin is eliminated, and then the opposite team would be declared the winners. Unless, of course, again, in that rare situation where someone holds both the agent and the kingpin cards, in which case they win by themselves. All right, so now what does the promoted expansion add? For one thing, it adds a whole lot more of these equipment cards. Basically, it mixes up the game even more, so that way you've got more equipments, more special effects, more abilities that you can have, and those are a lot of fun. All right, so for one thing, this baton, it can change the aim of any gun. How awesome is that? So there's cool things like this duffel bag. The duffel bag says, choose up to 2 other players to draw an equipment. So once you figured out, maybe some people that you think might be on your same team, you can give them some equipment and get them going even faster. That is going to be the simplest thing that the promoted expansion adds. But also, the next thing it's going to add is we're not just going to play one game. we're going to be playing 5 games in a row. At the end of each game, we're going to be awarding some medals. So this kind of acts as both as a round tracker, the game for 5 different games, as well as tells us how many of those awards to give out at the end of each round. When you're playing with the promoted expansion, each individual game you're going to win or lose as a team. However, what you're really trying to do is over the course of the 5 games, on your little track here, you're trying to fill this up with as many of these tokens as possible. They're worth either 1 or 2 points. And each time you get one of those, you're going to put it on your tracker. You're going to get a promotion every time you get to 1, 3, and 5 on this card here. It's going to give you some additional special abilities from the promotion deck. So you want to get as many of those as possible so you can get as many special abilities as possible. However, what you're also trying to get is just the actual point values on those tokens. So as you're filling this up, you're collecting all those points. At the end of each individual game, you're going to flip these over, and whoever the leader of the winning team, they're going to give every player on that winning team 1 medal. And then they're also, as the leader, going to give 1 additional medal to any other player other than themselves. So that could be someone that they thought did a good job during the game, or whatever the case is. But it cannot be themselves. And then, as the game goes on, during the 5th round, 2 of those medals are going to be handed out to everyone on the winning team. All right, so that's how the game's going to go. You're going to play a whole game, a whole game, a whole game, a whole game, a whole game. You're going to try to be on the winning team as many times as possible, get as many of these tokens as possible in order to fill up your promotion track. And then at the end of that, everyone's going to flip over all their tokens. They're going to see who has the most points. And whoever has the most amounts of points is going to be the winner. And then you get to have all these cards. Maybe you're the chief, maybe you're the captain or the lieutenant. Those are all the different rankings that you might achieve at the end of the game. So once again, when you're playing just one single game of Good Cop, Bad Cop, if your team is the winner, if you eliminate the opposing leader, you win the game. But in this longer form of playing 5 games in a row with the promoted expansion, everyone's kind of by themselves trying to get as many points as possible. You're trying to win each game individually, but only as a means to an end to try to get the most amount of points.
So one of the things I'm not actually a huge fan of is player elimination outside of, in a game like this, where the game is quick enough that it doesn't even really matter.
Right.
Like, it's different when you're eliminated. Like, do you guys remember Bang? You could be eliminated and the game would go on for another 45 minutes and you're just like, why am I here?
Or Risk, like 3 hours.
Yes. But this does not suffer that problem. If you're eliminated, the game's probably going to be over pretty shortly anyway. So it's not like it has this huge negative connotation to it.
And plus, even if you're out, your team can still theoretically win.
Yeah, that's true. You can still win.
And with the promotion, the promoted expansion, the way it works with, with those cumulative points, you might even still be able to win flat out, so it's pretty interesting. All right, so I think that's cool that you keep your identity secret as long as you can. With the good cops and the bad cops kind of interchanging, loyalties as the game goes on. It's more unique, I think, than a lot of other social deduction games that I've played. And it's also not like one's better than the other. I mean, by little definition, one's good, one's bad, right? But you are just trying to ebb and flow with whoever you think has the power at that time. Whoever you think is going to win. That's who you pretend like you are.
I think that's a really fun thing in this game, actually. That even though, yes, it's literally called Good Cop, Bad Cop, it really could be any opposing thing. It could be like the Moon team versus the Sun team. Because it's not actually, like Ryan said in the beginning, you're not trying to sneak around and do things. It's kind of, you're just trying to team up with whoever's in power, regardless of what side that is. And I thought that was a nice take on a social deduction game, that it wasn't you're trying to be sneaky. You're just trying to, protect yourself in all of this.
Yeah, I think that, I really like the special powers. All my favorite social deduction games have special powers. So when you add in the promoted cards from the promoted expansion, I think that is really what makes it set apart and shine. Because when you're all just a generic good cop or a generic bad cop, it's not quite as exciting. When it's not your turn, you really can't do anything and just kind of listen to everybody do their thing. But adding in those promotion cards allows you to have all these different special abilities, which is a blast. So even if you don't play all 5 rounds, if you don't have time for that, I heard somebody mention the idea of, hey, you could just deal out 2 cards to everybody. pick one of them, and that you just have one special ability throughout the rest of the game. I thought that was a fantastic idea to kind of spice up the original game of Good Cop, Bad Cop.
I thought the promoted expansion was really neat for a game that kind of invites you to play it back to back. So Good Cop, Bad Cop is a game that you'll probably play more than once. And I like that it gives you a direction to go with the expansion. It kind of gives you like a mini campaign for a game that when you're done with it, you want to play it, at least one other time. And it gives you that direction to go. And I think that's really neat that they kind of took something that people were probably already doing and give them a structure on what to do that with.
All right, so I think that if you like social deduction games and I think you're really going to enjoy the promoted expansion. That campaign style really adds a lot of digging in, which I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. Now, for me personally, when I play a social deduction game, I only want to play it once or twice, honestly. So this maybe was a little much for me, too much of a good thing kind of a thing, I love Good Cop, Bad Cop, and I love what this adds, but the campaign just felt like it's too long. And I want to play 2 games, 15 minutes each, and then move on to something else, maybe break into smaller groups or whatever. But if you like social deduction games, I think you're going to like this, especially the promotion cards.
Yeah, and like Ryan said earlier, even if you don't want to play the full 5 games, you can still add in those promotion cards, and so you can still get a different taste every time.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed this one a lot, and this just adds to the goodness.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to us. You can see our videos as they come out. You can find us on Facebook, we're Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can find us on Twitter, we're Ryan and Bethany 1. And lastly, you can find us on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany.
Everybody, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.